Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others work hard all their lives and barely survive? Today, I'm going to reveal a principle so powerful that the richest individuals guard it like a secret treasure. This isn't about luck, education, or talent. It's about something far more fundamental. Stay with me, because if you understand this, it could change the way you think about success forever. Have you ever noticed how some people rise from nothing and build empires, while others, despite endless effort, remain stuck? It's not luck, it's not a chance, and it's certainly not a privilege. There is a hidden principle, a silent law of success, that those who understand it use to create wealth almost at will. Today, I will share this secret, and once you grasp it, you will understand why riches follow some and escape others. Have you ever stopped to think about where wealth really begins? Most people assume it starts in their wallet, their bank account, or the opportunities they get from someone else. But that's not true. The truth is, wealth begins long before it appears in your hands. It begins in a place that most people never fully understand. It begins in your mind. Everything you see in the world today, every great invention, every skyscraper, every company that dominates the marketplace, started as a simple thought, just an idea, a picture in someone's imagination. The car you drive, the phone in your hand, the chair you're sitting on, these were all once nothing more than an image in someone's mind before they became reality. And that is where the principle hides. The secret is this: you cannot attract wealth until you first earn it in your thoughts. Now let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing on your mind? Is it doubt? Is it fear? Is it all the problems that hold you back? Or is it possibility? Because here's the truth: most people will never hear your dominant thoughts are shaping your destiny right now. If your mind is filled with lack, with limitation, with reasons why you can't have more, you are literally programming your future to match that belief. The people who rise from nothing and create empires, they are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They do one thing differently. They control the theater of their mind. They see themselves wealthy long before it happens. They live in that vision as if it's already real. And the universe has no choice but to bring it to them, because the mind leads and the body follows. You see, the invisible principle says this: thoughts become things. Not sometimes, not maybe, but always. If you think it long enough, if you feel it deeply enough, if you refuse to let go of it, that thought will attract its physical equivalent into your life. This is not magic. This is not fantasy. This is a law as real as gravity. Let me make this real for you. Imagine two people starting at the same point in life. One believes wealth is for other people, not for him. He says things like, "I'm not lucky. I'm not talented enough. I wasn't born in the right family." Every day, his thoughts confirm his limitations. And guess what? He lives those limitations for the rest of his life. The other person, starting with the same resources, does something different. He creates a clear mental picture of the life he wants. He repeats it in his mind every single day. He speaks about it. He writes it down. He feels it until it becomes real in his imagination. And little by little, opportunities start to appear. People show up. Ideas flow. And the wealth he imagined becomes the wealth he holds. Now here's the part that will shock you. The difference between those two men was not education. It was not talent. It was not even luck. It was a thought. One man earned poverty in his mind. The other earned riches in his. And this is why most people never get rich. They have never truly built the habit of thinking rich. If your thoughts are vague, your results will be vague. If your thoughts are small, your results will be small. But when your thoughts are clear, definite, and fueled by belief, the invisible principle starts working for you. And once it does, there is no limit to what you can achieve. But here's the catch: you cannot simply wish for wealth. Wishing is weak. Hoping is weak. You must think with certainty, with expectation, faith so strong that you already feel the result before it shows up. That level of thinking transforms your actions, your energy, your decisions. Suddenly, you notice things you have never saw before. You take steps you never dared to take. People begin to believe in you because you believe in yourself. The richest individuals on this planet are not carrying a secret formula in their pockets. They're carrying it in their minds. They know that before they can build anything outside, they must first build it inside. And that is what separates those who live in abundance from those who struggle for every dollar. Most people think they want success. They say they want more money, more freedom, a better life. But if you ask them one simple question, what exactly do you want? They hesitate. They give vague answers. They say, I just want to be rich, or I just want to live comfortably. But here's the truth: that is not a goal. That is a wish. And wishes don't move mountains. Wishes don't attract wealth. The most powerful force you have is focus. And yet, most people scatter it in 1,000 directions every single day. They jump from one idea to another, one plan to another, one opportunity to another. They start something today, quit tomorrow, and wonder why nothing works. The answer is simple: there is no definiteness of purpose. Let me tell you something that could change your life forever. Success is not a matter of chance. It is not even a matter of hard work alone. Success is a matter of clear, unwavering intention. You must know exactly what you want, not vaguely, not something better, exactly. Because when you do, something incredible happens. Your mind becomes like a magnet. It begins to attract the ideas, the people, and the opportunities that match your purpose. Think about this for a moment. If you walk into a room full of doors and you say, I want to leave, but you don't pick a door, you'll never get out. You'll wander in circles forever. That's how most people live their lives, wondering. But the person who says, that is my door, and I will walk through it no matter what, that person moves forward. The power of decision sets everything else in motion. Now, I want you to imagine two people again. One person says, I want more money. That's it. No plan, no number, no purpose. The other says, I will earn 100,000 within the next 12 months by building my business and providing this specific service. Which of those two people do you think will get closer to their goal? The second one, every single time, because the second person has definiteness of purpose. He knows what he wants, when he wants it, and what he will do to get it. The first person, he's drifting, and a drifter never wins. Here's the reality: the universe cannot deliver to a mind that doesn't know what to ask for. It needs clarity. It needs precision. And once you give it that clarity, everything begins to organize around your purpose. But if you keep changing your mind, if you keep doubting, if you keep chasing every shiny object, your results will always be weak, scattered, and temporary. Do you know why most people never build wealth? It's not because they lack intelligence. It's because they lack commitment to one definite thing. They're trying 10 different paths at once, hoping one will work. And guess what? None of them do, because they never gave their full energy to a single aim. Think of a magnifying glass under the sun. When you move it around, the light is scattered and nothing happens. But when you hold it still, focused on one point, what happens? That light becomes fire. That is the power of definiteness of purpose. It takes your mental energy, your time, your actions, and focuses them on one clear outcome until it becomes reality. But let me warn you, definiteness of purpose is not just about setting a goal once and forgetting it. It's about making it an obsession. It's about thinking about it when you wake up, when you go to bed, and every hour in between. It's about filtering every decision you make through one question. Does this move me closer to my definite purpose, or does it pull me away? If it moves you closer, you do it. If it pulls you away, you ignore it, no matter how tempting it looks. And here's something most people don't realize: the moment you choose a definite purpose and commit to it, fear begins to lose its grip. Doubt begins to shrink. You stop wasting time on distractions because your mind has a target. Your energy stops leaking everywhere. You start to feel a new sense of power, a confidence that others notice. And soon, opportunities show up because they are drawn to a person who knows where they're going. But without definiteness of purpose, life will push you around. Other people will decide for you. Circumstances will control you. You'll work hard, but you'll always feel like you're running in circles because you're chasing nothing specific. And here's the worst part: you'll mistake movement for progress. You'll stay busy, but you won't move closer to the life you want because you never defined what that life looks like. There is a reason why some people seem unstoppable, why they create success after success while others fight for years and barely make progress. The difference is not just hard work, because millions of people work hard and stay broke. It's not just intelligence, because we all know brilliant people who never reach their potential. The real difference lies in a principle so powerful that when you understand it and apply it, your results can multiply beyond anything you could achieve alone. Here's the truth: no one becomes truly successful without the help of other minds. No one. Every fortune, every empire, every great achievement you see in history was the result of more than one person's mind working toward a common purpose. This is not just teamwork. This is something deeper, something far more powerful. It's called harmony of thought. When two or more people come together with the same goal, the same determination, and with complete trust, something happens that cannot happen in isolation. A third mind is created, the mastermind. Think about this for a moment. Your thoughts create ideas. My thoughts create ideas. But when your mind and my mind work together in harmony, the ideas don't just add, they multiply. One idea sparks another, which sparks another, and suddenly, solutions appear that neither of us could have found alone. This is the true power behind every major breakthrough in business, in science, in wealth creation. Look at the world's most successful people, and you will see this principle at work every single time. You'll find business partners, advisors, mentors, investors, all forming a network of minds focused on one definite purpose. They understand something the average person never learns: isolation is weakness. Association with the right people is strength beyond measure. But here's the challenge. Most people surround themselves with the wrong minds. They spend their time with those who complain, who doubt, who criticize every new idea. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why their dreams feel impossible. If you want to rise, you cannot afford that kind of association. You must choose carefully. The people around you will either pull you forward or hold you down, and there is no middle ground. The mastermind principle does not work with negativity. It does not work when there is jealousy, when there is mistrust, when there is selfishness. It only works in harmony. That means when you build your circle, you look for people who believe in growth, who think big, who bring skills you don't have, and who share a common goal. When those conditions exist, the energy created is almost unstoppable. Now let me show you how this works in real life. Imagine you're building a business. You have the vision, passion, the drive, but you lack marketing skills. You lack financial expertise. You lack connections. If you try to do it all alone, you will fail or spend 10 times longer reaching your goal. But if you form a mastermind, a group where one person brings financial wisdom, another brings marketing genius, another brings technical skills, suddenly, every weakness is covered. Every challenge is met with collective intelligence, and ideas flow that none of you could have imagined alone. That is the mastermind working. And here's something even more powerful. The mastermind doesn't just give you ideas. It gives you accountability. It gives you emotional strength when things get hard, because there will be days when doubt creeps in, when you feel like quitting. If you're alone, quitting becomes easy, but when you have a circle of minds invested in your success, you keep going. Their belief lifts you when yours weakens. Their ideas ignite yours when you feel empty. This is why the most successful people guard their inner circle like a treasure. They know it determines their destiny. But understand this, the mastermind is not accidental. You don't stumble into it. You create it. You decide who belongs. You decide the purpose. You set the rules. And then you meet consistently, sharing ideas openly, holding each other accountable, fueling each other's growth. This is not a casual group. This is a deliberate alliance with a definite aim. And when it's formed correctly, it becomes an unseen force driving every member toward success faster than they could ever move alone. Most people will never experience this because they try to do everything themselves. They believe independence is strength, but independence, without the power of association, is a limitation. Alone, you have one brain. With the mastermind, you have many brains working as one, and that multiplies everything: ideas, opportunities, wealth. You can have the biggest dreams in the world. You can have the clearest vision. You can write your goals on every wall of your house, repeat affirmations every morning, and imagine success until you feel it in your bones. But let me tell you the truth that most people don't want to hear. None of it matters if you don't move. Because thought without action is dead. Faith without action is nothing more than a wish. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They believe they have faith because they hope. They believe they have faith because they pray. They believe they have faith because they talk about their dreams. But faith is not hope. Faith is not wishing. Faith is not waiting for the right time. Faith is acting as if the result is already yours, even when everything around you says it's impossible. Think about that for a moment. Real faith is not comfortable. Real faith demands risk. It demands courage. It demands that you take steps into the unknown, steps that scare you, steps that people will criticize because they cannot see what you see. That's why so few people ever develop it. They would rather stay safe. They would rather wait for certainty. But certainty never comes. Certainty is an illusion. And those who wait for it never move. Let me ask you something. Have you ever known someone who talks about starting a business year after year but never does? Or someone who says they'll write a book, launch a product, chase a dream, but years pass and they're still talking. Why does that happen? It's because they confuse intention with action. They confuse planning with progress. They confuse talking about faith with living in faith. Real faith does not wait for all the lights to turn green before you start driving. Real faith gets in the car, starts the engine, and moves forward knowing the next light will turn green when you get there. That's how every success story begins. Not with certainty, not with guarantees, with action fueled by faith. Here's the problem: most people want proof before they act. They want the money before they take the risk. They want the opportunity before they make the move. They want everything to be perfect before they start. And that is why they fail, because life does not give you proof first. It gives you proof after you act. The path only reveals itself to those who start walking. Now, let me show you something powerful. When you act on faith, even when you don't feel ready, even when fear is screaming in your ear, something happens. You begin to attract resources you didn't have before. People start showing up. Ideas start flowing. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to open. Why? Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. But you don't get that momentum by sitting still. You only get it by acting when it's hardest to act. And here's something even more important. The size of your faith will always be measured by the size of your actions. If you say you have big faith but take small, timid steps, your faith is not big. If you say you believe in your vision but refuse to invest time, energy, or resources into it, your belief is weak. True faith acts boldly. It acts when there is no guarantee. It acts when the outcome is uncertain. That is the difference between dreamers and achievers. Faith also demands persistence. It's not just about acting once and then giving up because the results didn't come fast enough. Faith says, I will keep going. I will keep working. I will keep pushing no matter how many times I fall. Because when you act in faith, you understand something most people don't. Delays are not denials. Setbacks are not signs to quit. They are simply part of the process that tests whether your faith is real. Look at every great success story. There was a moment, sometimes many moments, when the person could have quit, when it looked hopeless, when everyone around them said, it's over, but they didn't stop. They acted again, and again, and again. That is faith applied through action. It's not just belief in the mind, it's belief in motion. And here's the final thing you need to know about this principle. Action does not kill fear, but it weakens it. Every step you take in faith reduces the power of doubt. Every time you move forward when you feel like freezing, you train your mind to believe, and when your mind believes, it becomes unstoppable. Now you understand something most people will never learn in their entire lifetime. Wealth, success, achievement, they are not accidents. They do not belong to the lucky few. They belong to those who understand and apply these principles. It begins with thought, because everything you desire starts in your mind long before it shows up in your life. It demands definiteness of purpose, because without a clear and unwavering goal, your energy is scattered and your results are weak. It requires the power of association, the mastermind that multiplies your ideas and your strength. It calls for faith that does more than hope. It acts boldly, even when the path is unclear, and it insists on persistence, because the moment you feel like quitting is often the very moment when success is just ahead. The question is not whether these principles work. They do, every time, for anyone who applies them. The only question is this: will you decide, right now, to live by them? Will you take control of your thoughts, define your purpose, surround yourself with the right minds, act in faith, and refuse to quit no matter what stands in your way? Because if you will, nothing can stop you.